ever going to use this stuff? Students say that all the time. Algebra, pre-calc, and math class. Same thing with SAT math. When are you ever going to use this stuff? Well, if you become an architect, you might use something like... My name is Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at IvyMasters.com, and today we're going to look at Test 6, Section 4, number 19. If you're an architect, you might use this stuff. So number 19 is coupled with this figure and with this reading. When designing a stairway, an architect can use a riser tread formula. 2h plus d equals 25, where h is the riser height in inches and d is the tread depth in inches. For any given stairway, the riser height is the same as the tread depths are the same for all the steps in the stairway. The number of steps in the stairway is the number of its risers. For example, there are 5 steps in the stairway in the figure above. The total rise of the stairway is the sum of the riser heights as shown in the figure. And then we get to number 19. And notice what I highlighted here. This is what you should underline on test day and in your practice, so it's second nature to have it by test day, which is the formula, what the equation is, what the variables stand for. Number 19 reads, an architect wants to use a riser tread formula to design a stairway with a total rise of 9 feet. A riser height between 7 and 8 inches and an odd number of steps. With the architect's constraints, which of the following must be the tread depth in inches of the stairway. And notice also there I underline or highlight the most important information. So how are we going to do this? Well, if we're to get right to it, if you know you need a riser height between 7 and 8 inches, you could figure out what your tread depth is going to be at a 7-inch rise, and what your tread depth is going to be at an 8-inch rise, and then you know it's got to be somewhere in between there. So the first thing, it tells you that the rise height is 9 feet. Remember, all of this stuff is in inches, so we've got to convert 9 feet to inches. So you do 12 times 9, and you get 108 inches. And now what do you do? If the height's between 7 and 8 inches, then if I took that 108 and divided it by 7, we'd wind up with 1. And this is with calc math, so I suppose I'll just take out my high-tech calculator over here. So 108 divided by 7, and you wind up with 15.4. And then we divide 8 into 108. What do we get? Here, 108 divided by 8. And we get 13.5. What did I just find? It's important to know what you just found. Well, if you think about it, if you divide the total height by the height of each step, what you're going to figure is how many steps you have. So there's got to be somewhere between 13.5 and 15.4 steps. So what the heck does that mean? Well, you can't have a fraction of a step. You would have another step. So possible number of steps here, it seems to be 14 or 15, but remember, it said down here that you've got an odd number of steps, so there must be 15 steps. Now if there's 15 steps, I could find the definite height of each step by dividing 15 into 108. And so I take my high-tech calculator over here, and I do that. 108 divide 15. And 7.2 is the actual height of each step. So how am I going to use that in order to find the tread depth? Well, I've got my formula over here. 2h plus d equals 25. And so since that's the actual height of each step, it's going to be 2 times 7.2 plus d equals 25. It's going to be 14.4 plus d equals 25. And if you subtract 14.4 from both sides, you get that d equals 10.6. Answer choice C is your correct answer. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has